are, Congresswoman.
Well, look, this is actually very different kinds of behavior even than what we saw in the Mueller report. I mean, we have a president of the United States who withheld aid from an ally who was on the front lines against our chief adversary. And I think when the American people hear that this isn't about 2016. This is about what is happening right now in 2020, prospectively for the 2020 election. And I think that these witnesses are going to make all the difference. I mean, when you look at a Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, for example, he'll be there and he'll be in his dress blues and, fully decorated, raising his hand, saying that he's telling the truth. I defy Republicans to challenge on that. They are not challenging on the substance. They're challenging on process, and that is a loser argument.
All right, you get the final word.
Process matters. Fairness matters. That's why Nixon went down, because the process was fair. This is not fair. They won't allow they've not allowed the president any of the rights granted to President Clinton during his impeachment or any of the rights granted to President Nixon during his impeachment. And I love the fact that the Democrats are now decrying the president's decision not to move lethal aid rapidly to Ukraine. After all, the previous administration, a Democratic administration, did nothing to send lethal aid to Ukraine, and the non-lethal aid, they refused to fly into Ukraine on C-130s because they didn't want U.S. military presence in Ukraine, so they dropped them off in Poland, and citizens had to take that non-lethal aid and put it in the back of their little vehicles and trucks and convey it to the Ukrainians. This president at least had the guts to give the Ukrainians the lethal aid needed to stave off the Russian attempt to subvert that country.
Well, I think this is probably going to end up being a game changer, and it'll be a bipartisan game changer. Pal?